anyone who knows me will tell you that my absolute favorite holiday is Halloween. But my second favorite holiday might just be Easter. Just all the bright colors, the furry animals. I love how weird it is. It's like, why do we have the Easter bunny? I don't know. Why is it an Easter ham? I don't know. Why does the bunny leave eggs? I don't know. And I especially love Easter horror, which is why today I am joined by my friend here, the evil Easter bunny. As you can see, he has black eyes, and he has a black Easter egg, like his black heart. And he has one ear that's kind of crinkled and one that just hangs like it's supposed to. I don't think I've ever seen a rabbit with an ear like this. That might be bad. Might want to take it to a vet. And of course, I am also joined by Naja the mummy and Unnamed Wolfman. This delightful Easter horror ornament is from the company Horror Ornaments. I love this. I love Easter. I love horror Easter. I've already said that. His name is Jacked Rabbit, the collectible ornament from 2020, but he still works today. This critter is not one to cross paths with. Forget the candy-delivering bunny you know and love. His soulless eyes can turn anything sinister. So don't stare for too long. He desires more than just eggs. Your soul. I saw this around Halloween last year. I went to a spooky holiday event with my good friend, Sarah, and they had a bunch of different holiday-themed ones, and as soon as I saw him, I had to have him. So here he is, joining us today. I don't have any rabbit ears or anything, so this is what we're going to do for Easter. He's just going to sit here and vibe with us. So I will put a link in the description for where you can get your own beautiful holiday ornament, and any of the books that I mentioned in the tag today. So let's get started. Today I am doing the Easter book tag. This tag was originally created by Rosie the Reader. I will put a link to that video down below. I'm going to be picking up books now, so I guess this guy will have to sit down for a bit. The first question for this tag is Rabbits, a book you wish would multiply, or one that doesn't have a sequel yet. My pick for this one would have to be Howl's Moving Castle. Now I know what you're going to say. You're going to look on Goodreads and be like, hey, wait a minute. Howl's Moving Castle has 2 sequels. Well, my friend, that's where you're wrong. There are 2 follow-ups to Howl's Moving Castle set in the same universe. Those would be Castle in the Air and The House of Many Ways. However, those are companion novels, not sequels. If you want to see any more of these characters, well, they're in there, kind of. If by in them you mean, oh hi, this is what we're doing now, okay, bye-bye. And I'm sure those books are also great because Diana Wynne Jones was a fantastic writer. I mean, this is the only thing I've read by her, but I can tell you just from reading this one that she definitely was. And I'm sure maybe I would even like those. But I want more of these characters. The next question is Egg, a book that surprised you. A surprise, like an Easter egg. For this, I'm going with 172 Hours on the Moon by Johan Hartstad. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is a young adult horror novel that was set, I believe, in the near future at the time it was written. I have this old library copy. It's set in a world where the reason we haven't been to the moon in a long time is there's this whole cover-up, but now NASA has announced that they are going to send 3 teenagers to the moon, this worldwide lottery, and we follow the 3 teenagers who win as they go up to the moon and everything goes to hell. I actually wrote a review of this book and posted it on Goodreads when I read it last year. This is one of those that was sitting on my TBR forever, and it was kind of like, should I read it? Should I not? But actually, I found the first third of this was pretty slow, but the last 2 thirds really picked up the pace. As soon as they leave and go to the moon, it was like a breakneck pace. It was like just speed through all the way to the end, and I really enjoyed that. I believe I described this in my review as what if The Martian plus The Thing, but set it on the moon and make it YA? And I think that sums it up pretty well, actually. So if you're at all interested, I do recommend this. If you want a space horror set on the moon with teenagers, yeah, check this one out. The next prompt is Hunt, a book that was hard to get your hands on. What you see before you is all 4 volumes of The Journey to the West. I love when there's just one big picture across here. As you can see, it's beautiful. It's my favorite thing when series do this. So this collection was really difficult to find just because I had to dig to find out what translation I wanted. These are the revised editions by Anthony C. Yu, I want to say. I hope I get that right. We'll show you the individual covers here. So we have volume 1, which I believe is the picture that is on the spine here. We have volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4. So I got hooked on the videos over on Overly Sarcastic Productions channel. Red, who's one of the hosts, covers Journey to the West summaries, and there's one every year, and I really enjoyed those, so I wanted to read them for myself. The first version that I found was the single volume called Monkey, which edited out most of the journey. I was holding it out and it was like, it's like this big. It's like half of one of these volumes, you know? So I was like, how are you going to annotate all of this into a book this big and still get all of the story in there? And I did some looking, and I eventually found out that what they did with that one is just called Monkey, is they removed all of the journey part. So it's just the beginning and then like a couple of like little segments in the actual journey section, because most of it's the journey in Journey to the West. It's called Journey to the West. So yeah, it's the beginning little piece and then a couple of like little vignettes and then the ending. And I was like, no, I want to read Journey to the West. So I ended up going on thriftbooks.com, which sells mostly used books. You can also order, if you're in the US, you can also order new copies of things too, but they will ship out anywhere, provided you pay for delivery. So I basically put a notification link on each one of these editions for thrift books, and I just waited basically. And eventually I got a notification for like 3 out of the 4. I assumed they got them all at once, but they somehow ended up processing all but one of them. So like 3 of them were available at one time, and then like 8 hours later, the last remaining, it was like book 2 or 3, was available too. So I had to order that one separately yet. Thrift Books doesn't have free shipping to Canada, so it didn't actually make a difference to me. It was just kind of weird that I would get 3 of them, and then later I would get the last one. These are really heavy. The next question is Lambs, a children's book you still enjoy. For this one, I'm going with The Mysteries of Harris Burdick by Chris Van Allsburg. You might know Chris Van Allsburg. He did Jumanji and Zathura, and Polar Express, I believe, is also him. This is a picture book of creative prompts that a lot of people have used over the years. It's a pretty popular book in schools. Basically, there's a picture that comes with a prompt and a little 1-sentence idea. And the idea is that people of all ages can come up with their own stories, take it in any genre, any direction you want. And I really love that. I love the weird creepiness of them. And by the way, Zathura. So I did a couple of these in school. I think a lot of people probably did. Apparently Disney has the rights to make a film adaptation of this. I don't know about that, honestly. I haven't seen anything about it in a while. If you have not tried this and you are a writer, I would highly recommend, if you're looking for prompts, to pick this one up and give it a try yourself, especially if you haven't done it. There's a lot of like famous writers too who have done their own versions. Like Stephen King did his own version of The House on Maple Street, and I did really enjoy that one. I believe it's in one of his official anthologies. So yeah, look up Stephen King's The House on Maple Street if you're interested. Or maybe even better, come up with your own version, or any version of anything in here. I pick this one up whenever I need just some inspiration and I'm stuck on something. This is a good one. The next prompt is Spring, a book with a cover that reminds you of spring. So I don't have the physical copy of this one because it's not out yet. But for this one, I'm going with Boots by Julian Greystoke. Apparently my video editor hates me because it doesn't have the option to put pictures on the screen with me as I'm talking. So I will put a picture in between me talking here for just a moment. Especially because this prompt is about the cover. I really like the art style for this one. There's lots of green and lots of brown, which is, I mean, honestly, we're in spring now. That is the most spring thing I can think of. You go outside, there's green and brown everywhere. And to top it all off, we have a furry animal. Boots is a Puss in Boots retelling by author Julian Greystoke. And I really enjoyed her other 2 books that I've read by her. I really enjoyed Phoenix. I really enjoyed The Wolf and the Hawk. So I am pretty excited to get my hands on Boots as well. I am a sucker for retellings, especially ones that aren't as popular. So I'm looking forward to reading this one for myself. The next question is Jesus, a book with religion. For this one, I'm going with The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. So this is a Russian historical fantasy about a girl named Vasya. One of the big overall themes of this book is the 2 different religions. We have Christianity coming in, and then we have this other older one that is slowly getting wiped out by the popularity of Christianity. The Bear and the Nightingale is the first in the trilogy, and I really did like how overall it explored the differences in religion, especially in this first book. And I liked how it influenced the politics and the characters and everything going on. I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was well done. I don't know a ton about this older religion, but it was super fascinating to learn about it through this book. The next question is Rising from the Dead, a book by a deceased author. So for this one, I'm going with Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I thought it fit really well with the prompt of something coming back to life after it's been gone for a long time. Both in the book and the movie, the dinosaurs, they come back to life. Most people know this about Jurassic Park at this point. So anyway, great book, great movie, pretty great second book, honestly. I really enjoyed it. And a movie based on that second book also exists. Yeah. The next question is Baskets, a book you have in your shopping cart or on your wish list. For this one, I'm going with Aces Wild by Amanda DeWitt. I believe that's how you say her last name. I looked it up, and there were a lot of people mad about the official pronunciation being wrong. So I hope that's right. That's what they said was right. So that's what I'm going with. Official. There's just a clip on YouTube saying this is how you say it. This is about a group of asexual teens who all know each other from an ace support group, and they plan on pulling off a heist in Las Vegas. So I usually stay away from the contemporary genre just because I can't get into it most of the time. But there are some that I like, and I hope this is going to be one of those. I believe there's like 6 asexual characters, and so we can explore like having all these different characters who are all on the asexual spectrum, but they're all different. And I think that'd be really great, and I would love a good ace heist book, so I'm excited for this one. The next question is Candy, a book that you think is sweet. For this one, I'm going with The Girl Who Could Fly by Victoria Forrester. This has been one of my favorite books for a very long time, and I have talked about it, and I have annoyed a lot of people talking about it. This is the story of a girl named Piper McLeod, and she is born a little bit different, and she has the power to fly, but she has to teach herself how to fly. And eventually she gets taken to a school, but things are not quite what they seem. It's such an interesting mix of sweet and serious, and then also darkness. Like, I was not expecting this book to go where it does, especially for a middle grade, but they went there and I was here for it. And I really enjoyed the characters. I love Piper. I love Conrad. I love the writing style, which you're either going to love or hate it. So if you're at all interested, I would suggest maybe browsing through it a little bit at the beginning, because the same writing style is all the way through. And the final question is Peeps, tag people. So I don't know who to tag for this, because I'm pretty new here still, but if you want to do this tag, just know that the scary Easter Bunny has seen you, and he's letting you know now that you have been tagged. So that's all for this tag. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you decide to stick around. And please consider subscribing so you don't miss the next video. Nightmares, the first thing I have published ever, is now available in the anthology Monsters Mayhem from Erie River Publishing. I will put a link to that as well. And I hope you come check out what we're doing next. See you next time. I don't know what to add for this one. Read it. You all must read it. I should reread this one again soon.